Am I the a-hole for potentially ruining my classmate's career? Am I the a-hole I went with my friend to a restaurant that was originally reserved for me and my wife? Am I the a-hole for refusing to return the $600 gift I bought for mom for Christmas? Am I the a-hole for potentially ruining my classmate's career? I, 20 female, am a college student. In my country, a lot of students hunt for internship because it helps in getting a better pay package during placements. I've been casually talking with this guy, R, who's also my classmate. He was all friendly at the beginning but started flirting recently. I never once flirted with him and always just ignored his moves. But last week, he asked me out, and I said no. In fact, I apologized to him to have him think that somewhere in our conversation, I might have led him on. He ghosted me and I didn't think much of it. But 2 days later, he texted me again, asking me out. I told him that I already said no, to which he replied he gave me time to think over and that I should be grateful for it. NGL, I got pissed and I told him to F off. He got pissed and he called me all the names under the moon and just slut-shamed me for it. I blocked him but he made his friends to cuss me out too. I got super frustrated and called him out on my story along with attaching the SS of our chats. Around 300 people saw and one among them is placement mentor, 4th-year student. I didn't think much of it cause after the story as I blocked them all and went ahead with my day. The placement head saw this kind of behavior unacceptable and appalling. So he reported this to our department head. Apparently in my college, this kind of behavior is labeled as harassment and punishment can lead to suspension. The department head, DH, and placement mentor called me to DH's office to get my statement and I did. I showed them everything. Well, he got suspended for 3 months for his behavior. He was about to get a very good internship in a government company but since he got suspended, the internship is also gone. Our professor, P, loves him and he called me to his office to go and make another statement to DH that I forgive him and there's also wrong in my part. Our DH called me, R, his parents, and our 2 professors, P and Q. DH asked me if I'm willing to forgive him. This will get him off the suspension. Somewhere inside of me wanted to see him suffer, so I told him no. I was harassed and I want him punished. His mother berated me in front of everyone saying that I'm the one who led her son and I'm doing this purposely because he's my competitor. And her son is a victim here. DH didn't listen to her and gave R his rightful punishment, well, at least according to me. Well now, our internship started and few of my friends said I took it too far. He just called me names while texting and I got him suspended for that. Some of my other classmates called me a bully and AH for ruining his bright future. And Professor P called me outside the class today and told me that he's extremely disappointed in me. And it's because of girls like me, potential careers of men are ruined. This actually made me cry, and I'm rethinking whether what did was actually extreme. So Reddit, am I the a-hole?
Absolutely NTA, but the guy and his supporters are. No means no, and he should have backed off and left you alone. What they are doing is blaming the victim, you. You did nothing wrong. The only report that I would file is one that lists all of the people who are now harassing you. You might want to consult an attorney to find out what options you have against them. Any school employees who are now harassing you have created a hostile environment. If you have any written proof of the harassment, consider going online and updating your story. Once you graduate, consider looking for a reliable reporter and going public with your story. Do that other young girls realize that the university might not be the safest place for girls to attend. NTA. As I was reading your story, I was thinking how wonderful it was that there's at least one college that takes this kind of harassment seriously, because in the past it has not been the case. Then I get to the part where the college put it on you, in front of his parents and other people, to make the decision between letting him come back or staying suspended. What the hell? Not thinking your college is all that wonderful anymore. In fact, I think that what they did to you was even worse than if they had done nothing at all. It almost feels like you were set up to be the bad guy. The college should have suspended him based on what they saw, end of story. Putting it on you was reprehensible on their part. And your professor actually had the nerve to tell you that it's because of girls like you that men's careers are ruined. Freaking seriously? They are all assholes, you did nothing wrong. NTA the guy harassed you. Then he harassed you some more. At best, he is not mature enough to handle the responsibility of a good internship. At worst, he's a predator who would use whatever power he had to get what he wants. He needed to have a wake-up call. As his mother obviously enables this behavior, he is never going to learn otherwise. Professor P also needs to be called out. If I were you, I would inform your DH and the placement mentor about his comments to you. You can say that you don't feel like you have enough evidence to pursue any kind of action, but you just wanted to let them know in the event there is some form of retaliation as far as your grades. Put it on record now, so you don't have to scramble later. Plus, it puts the administration in the position of having evidence of previous behavior if Professor P does this to anyone else. Your friends need their heads checked. What part of no and I'm sorry if I somehow gave you the impression I was interested is leading anyone on? Just talking to someone doesn't automatically equate interest, and people have to get their heads around that. Definitely NTA. You didn't ruin anything for anyone. He was actually held accountable for his actions, and hopefully he'll either learn from it or this will be the first of a lifetime of similar consequences. Professor P needs to be checked also. I get being concerned about his position and not wanting to go through this again at a higher level, but if nothing else, make sure you document every interaction with him. Because he sounds like someone who may use his position to make your life and future career difficult.
Am I the a-hole? I went with my friend to a restaurant that was originally reserved for me and my wife. Yesterday was my birthday. My 30 male wife, 28 female, and I had made reservations at this really nice Korean barbecue restaurant for dinner. My wife is 4 months pregnant. However, her friend wanted to hang out with her and had called her the night before my birthday. My wife said that this was a childhood friend of hers and that she really wanted to spend time with her. I reminded her that it's my birthday, but she just dismissed it saying, "My birthday comes every year, but her friend will be leaving for Germany in a few weeks." I told her that she could go after my birthday as well, but she did not listen and just went to a sleepover at her friend's place. I got really mad at her, and instead of waiting for her to return home to talk things out, I asked my friend if he would like to hang out with me. He was fine with it, so we spent the day fishing, grilling, hiking, and went to the Korean barbecue for dinner. When she came home after spending time with her friend, she apologized to me saying it was an avoidable circumstance. I told her that it wasn't a problem and that I spent the day with my best friend. She got mad that I take him to the restaurant that we had booked for ourselves. I said that it was originally for us, but since she prioritized her friend over me, I took the person who prioritized me on my birthday. She said that I'm controlling and that I shouldn't be deciding who she spends time with. Now she's neither talking to me nor coming out of the room. I think I went too far by telling her whom she should be spending time with. Am I the a-hole?
Wait, what? She came home and had the audacity to be mad that you went to dinner on your birthday as planned. I'm truly dumbfounded that anyone could logic themselves into there being the wronged party. And she's spinning this into you being controlling of who she sees. Didn't she literally decide to see her own friend? What, in her twisted mind she thought you keeping the reservation was some passive-aggressive ploy to get back at her and teach her a lesson for going out with that friend. I can't even. I had to stretch to get that far. If that's what she is thinking, that you weaponized your own birthday dinner, she needs help. She owes you an apology for making this about her, still. NTA happy birthday and sorry she's pulling this on you. Don't apologize to her or concede. You did nothing wrong and like I said, she owes you an apology for treating you like you did something wrong. NTA, you offered options which were more than reasonable. She changed the plan, not you. For what it's worth, I'm usually totally chill about my husband spending time with his friends, but when I was pregnant, nope. I was very jealous of his time out, getting a drink with the guys after work, and wasn't gracious about it to time at all. Hopefully, your wife will do what I did and apologize a while later. Pregnancy totally whacked my brain, though if you had told me I was being entitled and unreasonable at the time, it probably wouldn't have gone over very well. NTA, you didn't say she couldn't see her friend or hang out with her, you reminded her it was your birthday and the plans you had already made. She decided it was more important to see her friend. Just because she didn't want to celebrate your birthday with you doesn't mean you can't still celebrate your birthday. You went with a friend, went to your reservation, and you're right that your friend was willing to prioritize time with you on your birthday. I can understand her reasoning wanting to see her friend, but she could have done that today, tomorrow, or this weekend. Unfortunately, I don't think she's going to bend on this, and I wouldn't apologize if I were you. NTA, happy belated birthday. I'm glad your friend was able to hang out. Wow, your wife sounds awful. It sounds like you handled the situation well. It's ironic that she called you controlling when she's the controlling one. She wanted you to sit alone and miserable on your birthday while she went out and had fun. That's controlling and very manipulative for her to get mad that you went with your friend. She's trying to punish you for having fun on your birthday. The fact that she went to her room and is giving you the silent treatment because she was a shitty wife is just yikes. She's clearly TA. OP, please be on the lookout and take notes of red flags regarding your wife. The way she treated you is not right. I could not imagine ever just deserting my husband on his birthday. She sounds like an awful, selfish, entitled, narcissistic woman. She tried to emotionally blackmail you into feeling guilty for actually celebrating your birthday, which she ditched you on. I strongly recommend that prior to this incident, try think of any more red flags that has occurred. Has she done this before? Wow, she might be one of the most manipulative people I've ever seen on here. She lets you plan and reserve a dinner date on your birthday, blows you off to be with her friend who she can hang with at pretty any point in those few weeks before friend moves, then comes home and makes you out to be the bad guy. Do not let her gaslight you. She's ta. What did she think you were gonna do, sit on the goddamn couch and wait for her to get home? NTA.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to return the $600 gift I bought for mom for Christmas? To start, I want to mention that unlike my wife, I have a very good relationship with mom. And because my siblings can always afford pricey gifts for mom this year, I decided to gift her something nice and expensive for once on Christmas. Though I'm currently unemployed, but I work for the past few months. And my wife and I have a joint account. The problem began when my wife found out I purchased a $600 necklace for my mom to gift her on Christmas using our joint account. She went off on me saying I should have told her and shouldn't have taken money from our joint account that she uses to pay the bills and rent, especially now that we're struggling. I asked why should I tell her since it's for us both, but she reminded me that despite that being true, 1. I no longer work, and 2. 600 is a lot and I should have consulted her, but the reasons I didn't are 1. I feel that it's my money too and I can make purchases using our joint account, and 2. I know if I told my wife, she'd refuse to let me buy the gift solely because she hates my mom. She yelled at me saying that is her hard-earned money I threw away and needed to return the necklace, but I refused because mom already knows about it. She responded that this is no longer our joint account since I no longer earn money and that if I want to gift mom expensive items, then needed to earn money. She insisted I return it, but I said no, and it escalated to me calling her bitter and control after she pointed out I never got her anything in this price range. She's insisting I return it and at least get a cheaper one, but I'm done being the one with the least expensive, valuable gifts to gift in the family. She is making this her hill to die on. Am I the a-hole?
Yep. Totally YTA. Is it easier for you to spend someone else's money rather than your own? I find it curious that you wait to get your mom something nice and expensive for once, when that for once happens to be when you're unemployed and money is tight. And you don't spend that kind of money on your own wife. Why would you think she'd be okay with you making such a large purchase using money she made for someone you claim she hates? Again, when money is tight. I'm sure if you had gone and picked up a necessity or even a $25 gift card for your mom, that your wife would have had a better reaction. Maybe instead of shopping for a gift for your mom that didn't need to be bought this year, you could have been shopping for a job. You treated money meant for bills and necessities as your personal little rainy day fund, and you didn't even think about your wife first. Why did you marry her if you were going to put your mom above her? You're unbelievable. YTA, she responded that this is no longer our joint account since I no longer earn money, and that if I want to gift mom expensive items, then needed to earn money. This .the joint account is for the joint expenses of life. If you made an expensive purchase without discussing it with her or considering how it will affect your joint living expenses, that's AH. And if you did so when she's earning all the money and you're unemployed, that's double AH, because she's the one who did the work to pay for that gift. If you're unemployed, then your gifts this year need to be inexpensive or handmade from things already available and no spending money on expensive crafting equipment and supplies to claim you saved money by giving homemade gifts. You want to give expensive gifts, you get a job first to match what she's putting towards household expenses, then to build up a reasonable savings for emergencies, and only after that for expensive gifts. YTA, that's an enormous amount to spend without consulting your spouse. I mean, if I were your wife, I'd be pissed if you spent that much on me. It has nothing to do with how well you and your wife get along with your respective mothers, and everything to do with buying anyone an extravagant gift without talking about it with your spouse first. If it's your money too, then it's your wife's money too, and she should have just as much say in how it's spent. I'm not talking about petty cash purchases. Obviously you don't need to consult each other if you decide to pick up an extra bag of potato chips, but for large expenses, definitely yes. Well, maybe a little ESH for your wife's comment that it's no longer a joint account because you're not working. Lots of spouses don't work, but the working one's income is still considered jointly owned, but I can't blame her too much for being upset and blurting out something like that. YTA, I hope that gift is worth a possible eviction, loss of needed utilities, or possible divorce that could very well happen because you would rather try and keep up with your siblings' spending habits than maintain your household for your family. The problem is not that you bought your mother a gift, the problem is that you used money specifically earmarked for bills and living necessities to buy that gift. If you wanted to get your mother an expensive gift, you should have gotten a job to pay for it straight out, but you do not endanger your family's livelihood to do it. Look ma, I got you an expensive necklace just like my siblings do every year. I've possibly made my family homeless, but as long as I can compete with my siblings this year, who cares? Well, my wife cares, but what does she matter? YTA big time. YTA, my soon-to-be ex-husband did this. He wasn't working, thought the shared joint account was his money. So guess what he decided to do? Buy an expensive gaming setup because he wanted to. Did not ask if he could buy it or anything. Did not care about bills being paid or the fact I may have been saving for something. He refused to return the computer and ran away to mommy and daddy when confronted how I'm so manipulative and mean. Even though I am the only one working. He took the money for his own selfish pleasure and now we are divorcing. His reasoning: it's a shared account so the money is ours. Aka, the money was his. Don't be my ex. If you love your wife, please return the gift and find a cheaper gift, or if you really want to gift your mother the $600 gift, you need to go find a job even part-time to make up the money you spent. If not, you will be in relationship advice asking why your wife is leaving you and how to fix it. You're the AH. You admit you are struggling financially since you don't have a job, so why would you choose this year to buy an expensive gift? I wouldn't share a bank account with you either because what you did was irresponsible and you are just trying to stroke your ego by giving an expensive gift to your mom. Does the amount of money you spend on a gift for your mom reflect how much you love her? No, the thoughtfulness of a gift does. By buying this expensive gift for your mom, you have certainly told your wife how little she means to you. I'd be surprised if your marriage survived this. I didn't tell her because I knew she'd say no isn't the excuse you think it is. If you knew she'd say no to spending that much money from an account that you share, but you did it anyway, you already knew it was wrong. I hope your wife opens up her own account that you don't have access to, because you clearly don't respect her enough to be financially responsible with money that she earned so that both of you could stay afloat. YTA.